Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all are doing really well. Today I am in the world of Strangerville and I am going to be refurbishing this little trailer lot that is in the midst of all of these campers and things like that. It is the lot that is fenced in that you can see on your map. There's not very many lots in Strangerville, especially down in the town, but this is one of the ones that you can build on. This is so cute. I really like this little house. It's kind of like a built-in tiny home in The Sims, which is really cool and not something that we see very often. So I was really happy to be able to redo this one. It turns out super cute. I would live here in a heartbeat. Oh my goodness. Like it's so great. Anyhow, I'm obsessed with Strangerville. This is such a great world. Like, this is fantastic. I think I've learned about myself that I love game packs the most. Expansion packs are fantastic and you get so many items and new gameplay and things like that, but I feel like the game packs are more of a better value since they're so much cheaper and you still get a world more often than not, and you get all of these great build items and things like that. This is just, I'm so pleased. This is my second build in Strangerville. The first one was the house on Nebolt Street that is also in this world. So the sim that I have living here is going to run into Pennywise from time to time. But anyhow, this is the second one that I've built in Strangerville, and like I said, I'm just absolutely obsessed with this world. It's so great. So the sim that I have planned on living here, her name is Lauren, and she is one of the sims that is, their aspiration is to figure out the Strangerville mystery. I've not gotten very far in figuring out the mystery. I played with her for about an hour or so the other day after I finished her home. I've also made her, she's kind of down in the corner of the screen. You can see her right there. But wanted to make her house really cute, and I'm excited to like actually play through Strangerville. I think it's one that I'm actually going to spend some time doing and just figuring it out. But anyway, like I said, going back to the build, the exterior has pretty much come together. I didn't change too awful much on the exterior. I kept that same like dark green color because that's my favorite color, so it was really hard to change that, but I did green it up on the outside a little bit. I gave her a little flower bed and I put in some rocks and some like succulents and things like that, as well as that bathtub item that I think, came with Strangerville. That's so cute. That is so cute. It came in the right color and everything. I was like, there's no way that I cannot use this. So you are seeing me go through the live edit objects menu just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. A lot of throughout this build, I did filter to use things from Strangerville. I've not done too much with those items that we got with that pack, so I wanted to make sure that I was using everything that had to do with like the aliens and things like that, especially since Lauren is a sim that is interested in figuring out that mystery. So I was really happy with the way that this build turned out. I really like these awnings. Now, some of y'all may not like this. It grew on me. I wasn't completely thrilled with how it turned out just because it would have been so much green, so I didn't go too crazy, but I put those awnings up there. I think they came with Get Together, and I decided to put plants on them that maybe needed a little bit of extra sunlight. I imagine that Lauren is like very keen into keeping her plants, especially the outside of her house, looking really neat, so I like doing that. I've never done that before. It was much better than the awning that was originally on this trailer, so I was really happy about that. But you are seeing me do a little bit of work with the porch and putting a couple of chairs out front. I just imagine her sitting here talking with the sheriff and figuring out what's going on in with the lab and all of that stuff. It's just such a cool story. Like I said, I'm really excited. Also over the bathroom, I don't know if you saw it at the beginning. I kind of talked over it, but you might have seen me put in that skylight. So there we go. It's got that honeycomb sort of look to it. I think that's so cute. It made some really pretty shadows going into the bathroom, which look really great in the screenshots. I was very pleased with that. Like, I'll take that bathroom. Yes, please. I wanted any excuse to use those Strangerville windows, the cathedral ones. I mean, they obviously don't work with the trailer. I need to build a Victorian, but oh my gosh, those are some of my absolute favorite windows that I've ever seen. They are so cute. And then trying to figure out the floor and things like that. I did not change any of the layout in here just because it's like already a tiny home, which is something that I love to do anyhow. And I wanted to kind of make it my own, but also keep the integrity of the house or the trailer that was already here. So yeah, just improving, not completely changing, just improving. And you're going to see me struggle a lot with the cabinets. I could not figure out which cabinets I wanted to go with. I couldn't find the exact ones I wanted. I didn't want to make this trailer like junky or like cheap looking. I wanted it to be very cute and very homey, but also not look like she spent a ton of money on things, if that makes any sense. Like, I imagine that Lauren is like very she's put together. Like, she knows what she's doing. Her house is a little bit erratic because, like I said, I had to use all of the Strangerville clutter items, like the papers and the documents strewed everywhere. Like, it's a clutterer's dream, if you ask me. So I was really sure to do that. So for the rest of the house, I kept it very bare minimum. I imagine that she doesn't really need a lot. She doesn't use a lot. She's just there for her mission, and she's there to investigate. So I kept it very bare bones, what she needs, and then a bunch of clutter to do with aliens, which is the best kind of clutter, if you ask me. But going through and finding a couple of little things for the kitchen, I do use that little tea item, which I don't think I've ever used, which is insane because I love tea. Tea is so great. I've been wanting a tea item to go with like the coffee things and like that, and it's so cute. And I also decided to use that cereal box item, which again is something that I've not ever used, but I think it fits perfectly with someone who is spending a lot of time investigating and doesn't necessarily have a lot of time to cook. So in the little bit of the storyline that I did play, Lauren has already had a bunch of cereal, so keeping with that theme. And then you're going to see me put in a little dining table as well as a couple of chairs, and then I clutter up this dining table quite a bit throughout the rest of the build. A problem with me is that I always go back and clutter. I clutter up as what I can think of right in the moment, and then sometimes I'll think of something else, and so you'll see me jump back from room to room. Is this something that bothers you? I feel like a lot of the builds that I watch and that I really, really like, they do a room completely, and then it's done. Like, they don't necessarily think to come back for more clutter. They kind of already have it in their brain. Does that just come with more practice? Like, is that just something that I've not quite gotten yet? Because that's fine, but that was just something that I was thinking about. You might have seen me put a couple of those little book items that are from the debug menu. They are all about aliens and like the history of Strangerville, which I think is so great. That's such a great little detail. I love that so much. And then I was looking for this kind of like, it's sort of mid-century. That's what kind of vibe I get from it. It's kind of like a mid-century room divider there to put her bed on the other side of. I thought that was really nice, and it kind of made the space look a little bit better than, at least before, it had the bedroom part as carpet and then hardwood in the kitchen, which I didn't really care for. So I decided to make the whole thing hardwood and then put a partition there, which I think is great. I love that. Again, I do not use curtains in classic Hannah fashion because I think the curtains are dumb. But anyhow, putting a couple of clutter items on her little nightstand. I used that debug item, that notepad right there. It is specifically for Strangerville Sims to write down their findings while they're investigating, which I think is so cute. And then I wanted to use that Strangerville bookcase right there, but the wood color just wasn't exactly matching what I was going for, so I decided not to. And I decided to use this bookcase from Parenthood instead because the green swatch matched the cabinets, and it had just a big enough open space for me to put a little television in there and kind of keep it out of the way so it doesn't take up too much room. And then you're seeing me put in one of those little tables that came with Strangerville. I can't remember what this one's called, and I can't exactly remember what its purpose is. It wiggles a lot, like when you play with it. That's all I know. And then I wanted to put in a few more alien books, and I definitely wanted to include some of the plants that you can find in Strangerville and that you can investigate. So I've got one on the table there, and then you're going to see me place a couple more beside the table here in a minute. I imagine that she's found these plants and she's kind of taken them back home so that she can pick at them and observe them and kind of figure out what's going on. And you will see me here in a minute put a splatter on the wall up above where that poster is above the table. I decided to put that there. I imagine that one of the bulbs had like exploded and like strewn a little bit of like smudge on the wall, and that she may not have cleaned it up yet. I don't know. I thought that was something kind of cute. And then I'm putting a bunch of like letters and other clutter items from Strangerville around and about. I really love the artwork and posters. Like that cowboy picture is so cool. Like I love artwork like that. I think we need more of that in The Sims, if you ask me. But then just doing a few last minute kitchen clutter items. I really wanted to put that tapestry somewhere, but I couldn't justify putting it over top of the cowboy. So the cowboy went out, and then I put that little coat rack in front like I usually do with my smaller builds, and a couple of welcome mats, and that's pretty much it for the living room area. There you are going to see me go through and make sure that I've not missed anything and put those other couple of plants around and about. I think those look really cool, and I think and there's the splatter that I was talking about. And then you're going to see me move on to the bathroom, which is of course the last part of this build. I went with that like pink and green tile, which is not one that I go for a lot. I love that tile pattern, but I've never used those colors before, and I just thought it made it look really cool. I don't know. It looks kind of oldish with those like green and pink colors, but I think it really works, and it made me excited to do this bathroom, which, again, if you all watch my videos, you know that bathrooms are not my favorite. I kind of tack them on at the end sometimes, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it's cheap, but it still looks really nice. Just put a couple of artwork pieces in there, and then I put the little cactus and a couple of items around about, and that's pretty much the end of this build. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.